Hello everyone, I'm Little McGriddle, and welcome back to Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. And we're on Chapter 4. I'm not going to be doing the whole chapter in this video. I'm going to be doing separate parts. So, sit back and enjoy the ride. Chapter 4, just when you think it's over. You descend the stairs with Jamie by your side, his heavy footsteps resonating. Thanks again for coming to help. I know you've had a tough few days. I should have been to your place sooner. You saved my life, and I'll never forget it. He adjusts the bloody bandage covering his hand, which has stopped oozing. This thing hurts, but the bleeding stopped, he says with a wince. My shoulder just has a scratch where a bullet grazed me. You grab his wrist and hold out his hand. Unraveling a soaked cloth, you inspect the wound. A deep laceration. It may need a stitch or two, and you should take antibiotics to treat any infection, you say, once we reach Woody and the others. Woody? Wait, Moses is with you? Jamie puts his good hand on his shoulder. Yeah, he got to my house earlier today, and came to help find you. We were on the 3rd floor together when some red-headed woman shot at us. Rosie shot at you? Damn, I'm glad you're okay. She hasn't been in her right mind since this whole outbreak started, so what happened? Describe to Jamie how she shot at you, riled up a pack of zombies and chased into the auditorium. What happened then? Is she still alive? Jamie reaches for the stairwell door and pauses to wait for your answer. I let the zombies kill her. I don't know and don't care. You seem worried about someone who tried to kill me. I'll just say I let the zombies kill her. Jamie presses his lips together and bows his head. Not surprised she's gone. She was a troubled woman. And all the help I tried to give her was wasted. Dylan had too much influence. He opens the door and steps into the sterile white third-floor hallway, now littered with trash. The warm air carries the stench of the dead, and you step over the corpse of a teenage student, his body killed halfway into the infection's transformation. As you walk past the auditorium towards the teacher's lounge, you hurry to find Woody and the rest of your companions, because we need to get out of here. You approach along the 3rd floor in the dim light of the hallway, and the moans and growls of the infected echo through the high school. The teacher's lounge lies ahead, and as you approach, you hear arguing from inside. She said we'd be back, and we're waiting as long as it takes, Madison says as she pushed against the door. It moves an inch and bumps the furniture still stacked up to stop intruders. Open up, it's me and Jamie, you say and lean to the surface of the door. It shifts a few more inches. Hold your horses, Woody says to the wall, and from the other side, the sound of moving furniture can be heard scraping the linoleum floor. Once the door is cleared, it swings open and you enter. Madison sits on a lounge chair with her lately injured arm perched on a shelf, while Brody stands near a tall filing cabinet. He must have just moved from the door. Whoa, Madison said as she shifts her eyes to Jamie. What are you, like 16? Brody says and raises a hand over his head to match Jamie's height. 6'10". He said 6'10". Whoops. You introduce everyone by name, ending with your tall friend. Everyone, this is Jamie, Woody says and strides up next to his cousin, stone-faced. Hey there, Mose. Jamie stops and clears his throat. Woody, how are you doing? Fair to middling, Woody says, and pats Jamie high on the firm chest. Time for us to skedaddle. The last round of zombies weren't the last, and I found these. He pops a huge ring of keys out of his pocket and tosses them to you. Those look like Mr. Flaherty's, the maintenance man, Brody says. We can take that old maintenance elevator the teachers use. Leads to the back of the parking lot. Let's go. I've been in this school for far too long, Jamie says with a laugh. Any place open on the way home still selling cheeseburgers? Really? Okay, you're worried about cheeseburgers. Okay. Somehow you all fit in a small cage-like metal elevator with the sliding chain doors. At first, the old copper key doesn't fit in the control box, but with a jiggle, the lock turns and the elevator starts with a jolt. An oil smell permeates the air, and as the box descends to the bowels of the school, you hear the chilling melody of the infected. Static buzzes from the overhead light, and some glob of red liquid drips from the ceiling. Reaching the ground floor, the gates open to a dark, dank corridor leading through a service area where utilities of the school are maintained. Generators, heaters, and water treatment systems. They hum and chug and clank as they work, and the steam and heat they give off create a sauna in the basement. Walking past the large HVAC unit, your eyes catches a supply shelf with a number of tools and items for the taking. Okay. Excellent. We can take about 11 items. Do we have flashlight? I'm just browsing our current inventory. Lighters. Okay, we have lighters. I don't see any flashlights. So I'm going to take the flashlight first. Okay, we'll take wood parts. Wood parts. Take metal parts. Okay. Take another metal part. Maybe we should take another mechanical. Yeah, we'll do that. Gasoline can? I don't know. We may need that. That may come into use. Crafting tools, 2 slots. How much can we have? Duct tape? Sure, we'll do that, and we will take the electrical parts. You add the electrical parts to your personal inventory. Reach the end of the corridor and use the keys to pop open rusty metal doors that creak as they swing. Cool spring air blows in the early evening. You walk up a steady incline to a loading dock enclosed in a tall cement wall, the ground splattered with oil and skid marks. An old supply truck partially blocks a tall metal gate, its driver door wide open and broken glass on the seat. The smell of alcohol hits you in the face. Jamie moves to the gate and slides it open, the metal rattling as it moves. The infected call from above, their upper torsos hanging from cracked windows a few stories high, and a body falls from the 4th floor, hits the wall, and rebounds into the dock. Like a popped water balloon, the carcass splatters and spurts out liquid in a red sheet on the ground. Should we head back to the sedan, or could we take this truck? Woody says. Why aren't we taking multiple cars? There's a lot full, Madison says with a scowl. We can even get a BMW or a Lexus in the teacher's lot. Great, yeah, we get a Lexus or whatever. We can take one of the swim team's vans, Brody says. They're super new and decked out, real comfortable. Whatever y'all want to take make matters less and less than where we stand here. We need to boogie on out of here, Wood says. And just as he speaks, the sound of the infected in the area chime in with howls. Woody's right, Jamie says and steps close to you. Should we take a few vehicles? We have me, you, Woody, and the twins. Ugh. Why are we taking everyone to my house? My plan was just to get Jamie and get the fuck out of there. I was not planning to taking these twins. Jamie's eyebrows turn into a point and he blows at a hard sigh of exasperation. What do you mean? Of course we have to take everyone. Madison and Brody are kids. We can't just leave them here. All eyes turn to you, but it's Madison who steps forward to speak. She stands straight, eyes focused, and voice even and direct. We don't have anywhere else to go. The school is full of zombies. My home is full of zombies, and besides Brody, my family is gone. I know I haven't been helpful so far, but I also haven't had time to show you I can contribute. So please, let us come with you. Something tells you she's being sincere. You consider how you feel and say to Jamie, okay, I'm not taking care of some rich kids. They're not my problem. Hey, see, I don't give a crap about these people. I seriously don't. Jamie's expression hardens and a vein pops in his neck. We are all each other's problems now. You want to leave them, then you might as well be handing them a death sentence. Madison's expression shows disappointment and she glares at you, while Brody steps forward and shows a seriousness to his demeanor. We may have grown up with money, but that doesn't define who we are. We're good people and we'll put our own weight. But if you don't want us along, we're not begging to join your group. We're Milfords. A deep howl calls from high in the school and echoes in the walls of the loading dock. Far overhead, a helicopter soars from the left of the sky to the right, swerving in the air like an injured bird. Again, the infected call out, and everyone turns to the source of the howls on the outer edge of the parking lot. Hey, Chloe. Jamie waves you over, and you join him at the exit of the loading dock. The two of you peer across the vast parking lot of options. With the night set in, darkness creeps from the corners of the lot, held back by tall pole lights still working in the first few days of the apocalypse. A moving body creeps along a row of student cars, its form leaning as it shambles and drags one crooked leg. One sec. Follow me. Jamie leads you a few cars deep into the lot and steps over to a yellow Escalade. The fenders are torn off, the driver's side door is caved in, and bullet holes fill the back of the car. I had to rush to get away from Dylan and his crew, or I would have had time to grab more stuff. He pops the back hatch and points you to a trio of weapons and ammo to go with it. An MP5 submachine gun, a tactile shotgun, and an AK-47 rifle. Pick one and I'll hand out the others. Oh, can we take the submachine gun? I want to take the submachine gun. You lift the sleek black weapon and 3 magazines of 9mm ammo. Looking at your currently equipped weapons, M9 pistol and machete, you consider using your new weapon. Use it as my primary weapon. Ask and you shall receive, he says. Also in the trunk are a supply of food, water, and blankets. It's not much, but it's what I could gather. Hey, anything helps. You each take a pile of supplies and carry them into the loading dock where the rest of the group still waits. We really need to get out our butts in motion, Woody says and kicks an oversized tire of the supply truck. He stares at it with admiration. This could hold all of us and lots of our supplies. Mrs. Chandler's Lexus is in the teacher's lot right over there, Madison says and motions to an area beyond the loading dock wall. The swim team van will fit us all and has lots of room, Brody says, and it makes better turns than a big truck. Jamie steps to the edge of the parking lot and stares at the vast array of abandoned vehicles, as if someone handed him the master key to a used car lot. Let's figure out how we're getting back to your place, Chloe. We have too many choices, but every decision we make feels like a big one. Like life or death. You've never seen Jamie this frazzled, but you've never been in this dire of a situation. Before you pick a vehicle, you decide to... Fine. Wow, I can't believe the 2 twins are still coming with us. Wait for everyone to take a vehicle and then pick which to join. You hang back and watch the group. Though Jamie soon takes the lead and directs everyone to the swim team's van, the group walks outside the loading dock and parked half in a flower bed, half on a handicapped parking lot. Spot is a long gray passenger van with the school's logo on the side doors. Circling to the back of the van, Woody pokes his head through the open back window and looks inside. He flashes an A-OK with his fingers to show it's all clear. Keys are always in the sun visor, Brody says, and pops the driver's side door. He finds the keys just where he suspects them. Woody and Jamie move to the front seats with Jamie driving and the rest of the group follows him back. Yeah, okay. And move up front and talk to Woody and Jamie. You climb into the front seat and slide next to Woody while Jamie drives. The 2 cousins are sitting and staring out the window, quiet and contemplative. Jamie adjusts the front seat, the rear mirrors, and the steering wheel. The engine coughs itself awake and settles into a purr, and the whole frame shakes as it starts up, like a beast rising to crawl across the open plains. Next to you, Woody folds his arms and leans back in the seat. His rifle stands on his thigh, and he keeps watch as the van pulls out of the parking lot. What a day, Woody says. What a week, Jamie adds and leans far back in his seat, which whines with strain. What's on your mind, Chloe? We haven't talked much since the hallway. How are you feeling about the high school? Doing fine. Sure, it was hard to see all that death, but I just wanted to believe we can survive this outbreak. This seems more like me, like all the time. I say, I'm fine, and I say and hold back my true feelings from Jamie and Woody. I feel nothing. Oh my god. Sure, yeah. I'm totally gonna go with that. Oh boy. Jamie hangs his head but keeps watch on the road. I know it's rough. The past few days we've seen people die, friends, family, all innocent people. I don't know how long this will last, but we gotta stay positive. If we get depressed and lose focus, we won't survive. It's just the beginning, Woody chimes in. What happened at the school shook me, and I'm man enough to admit it. If the powers that be haven't developed a vaccine or some sort of treatment by now, the outlook's bleak. It's fast and growing stronger the longer it goes. At this rate of spread, and I'm more of a statistician than epidemiologist, but... Woody! Jamie interjects and widens his eyes and squeezes his lips shut. Sorry, Woody says, and a spark of understanding shows on his face. Best to stay positive. Woody snorts a quick chuckle. Make no mistake, Jamie, I want to head on out of here. Chloe's place has been like the comfort inn, but my ass is heading for low population, high altitude, and far away. We need to leave, yes, but we should stay close to civilization for supplies and food, Jamie says. Going out into the mountains won't be habitable. It takes time to build shelters and grow crops and such. If we go outside nightfall and find somewhere abandoned, we can scavenge for what we need until we figure out a long-term plan. What do you think, Chloe? Nah. Doesn't matter where we go, we're doomed. Hey, we need to think positive here. The farther the better. We can scavenge anywhere we go, as long as it's far from civilization. I should go with that. Woody shifts in his seat, leans forward, and slaps Jamie's arm. See that? She agrees with me. Now I know the brains of this operation. Jamie squeezes his lips together and breathes a raspy sigh. We'll see. That's an argument for later. As you draw closer to your neighborhood, you spot a trail of thick black smoke rising in the air from a group of homes near where you live. Jamie hits the gas harder and speeds across the avenue. Nearing your neighborhood, you move in the dark of night as roadside lights are out and a few houses have porch lights turned on. All is eerily silent except for the errant rumble of a military vehicle or a passing plane. Even the birds and crickets are hiding. As you drive the long road, you spot more infected than before, wandering the fields of soy and corn, staggering on dirt paths, crawling on the asphalt of a parking lot. If you drive close, they chase your van, only to give up when other movement or loud sounds call their attention. All stores are closed, and even the farmer's market is an empty lot. This doesn't feel like stodgy farms, but the leftover shell of a town left in the aftermath of a war. This doesn't feel like home. As you reach an intersection, you spot movement on the steps of St. Gabriel's Methodist Church. An older man in reverend's garbs holds a pitchfork up as you stop. He waves at you to keep going, and there's an aggression to his expression and stance. Before you can say a word or make a move, he rushes inside the tall doors of the church and slams them shut. With that strange occurrence over, you continue your way home. You reach the strip mall outside Thelma's convenience store. It's dark and boarded with not a single soul outside. No customers waiting to go inside or staff directing traffic to a nearby parking lot. As you move in closer, you spot a sign. Thelma's is closed until further notice. Thank you. Thank the looters and thieves when you run out of food. Oh. Wait, what? Okay. May the righteous live and the rest burn in hell. Whoa. In the middle of the road sits a trio of cars lined up lengthwise from bumper to bumper, blocking any travel past them. You can barely make out their details through the darkness, but there's at least half a dozen, all armed and pacing and watching. A howl cuts through the air, and in a distance farther down the road comes a military truck. The curfew is still in effect. Return to your homes. The voice comes from a loudspeaker attached to a large vehicle that comes around the corner of Walnut Avenue. Before it gets any closer, your van pulls away for the last leg of the trip. Glancing up, your eyes catch a sight of a figure in a window, tall, cloaked in a trench coat. His hand extended in the shape of a gun. You know this man, but you turn your gaze away. Nearer to your house now, you watch as a blanket of black smoke billows over houses, and the acrid scent of burning wood and metal spreads with it. So many homes in this area are boarded or abandoned, and your eyes fall across them one by one, empty and vacant, like hollowed skulls left to wither. As you round the last turn towards your home, you see flames shooting up from the field and back. Clouds of white and gray plume and turn black against the sky. As soon as your van stops at the end of your driveway, everyone leaps out of the van and rushes towards the field. You all see the source of the fire, a downed news helicopter. Your back porch smolders as flames rise from the back kitchen. As you approach, you spot a few familiar faces, though they're covered in ash. Parker and Kelly Klein watch on from a distance and pack a minivan with suitcases. Further down, near your neighbor Vince's house, Rachel packs a camping trailer with suitcases and boxes. Beside her, a young, thin, pale brown-haired woman. A tall, lean, olive-skinned man with a scruffy beard and a dark-skinned man carry out supplies from the house to the camper. As he watches, the olive-skinned man stops and waves, but Rachel says something to him and he goes back to work. I'll go check around the other side with Woody, Jamie says and heads off. Brody and Madison, you two stay back near the van. You circle the house to see how far the fire has reached, and to determine how far the fire has spread. As you start towards the front door, you hear your name called over the crackle of the fire and turn to see Parker and Kelly Klein walking over. She walks up with Parker. Helicopter was flying overhead for a while, and all of a sudden it spun out of control and plummeted to your field. She says and stops by your side. I tried to go in your house, Chloe, but I couldn't stand the smoke, Parker says. It spread too fast, but it's only at your kitchen. I even tried 911, but it got nada. We don't know what to do. Rachel and her people tried to put it out, but Parker cuts himself off and turns away from the sight of the flames. Looking at the house, you see flakes of ash now rain down from high up as a gust of air riles up the burning embers and carries them over the field and road, and with the smell of charred wood like a raging campfire. A glow of red-orange lights of dark night, and over the hiss of the fire comes the moans of the infected like a song in the background. Their forms show like shadows shambling in the distance, lost souls drawn to the light. That was very difficult to say, and pardon my English, it's rather late at night when I'm doing this recording, so I'm sorry for the bad reading that I'm doing right now. They're all over, a horde of them, Jamie says, pointing his submachine gun down to the bend on the road. We have 10 minutes tops, and we can hold them off, but we need to pack up and go. Jamie just put the feature in context. Pack up and go. Is that the next phase of survival? Where will you go? How will you find food and supplies? Are all of these people coming with you? Hey, Chloe, you have blood on your leg, Parker says, pointing to the wounded area. He looks uneasy at the glances. I hurt my leg while out finding my friend. It's not a deep cut. I should be fine for now. I think I heard that one man in Rachel's group is a doctor. If you want him to check it out, Parker says. With the fire spreading across the back of your home, you have to make a decision. You can run in front of the house and gather your gear and supplies. Otherwise, it may be best to hold off the zombies and have your companions gather up everything and pack vehicles to leave the area. And then there's Rachel and her team. Maybe you should help them pack up and find out her plan for survival. Or maybe it's best to leave this all up to Jamie. He seems equipped to handle things. You know what? Rush inside to recover any supplies before they burn. Yep. The supplies inside your home will be essential for your survival once you leave. You need to gather as much as possible while you have the chance. I'm going in my house to take what I can get, you announce to the group. I'm coming with you, Woody says and raises his rifle. Jamie steps in the direction of the incoming infected. I'll keep the horde back as long as I can. The twins can get ready to pack up our vehicles. Woody follows you across the field and up the walkway to the front door. Smoke trickles out of your home and you touch the door handle, half expecting it to be hot from the fire inside. It's cold, so you swing it open and let out a waft of warm air. Ash covers furniture towards the back of the home near the kitchen, but much of the rest remains unaffected by the fire. As you move in, Woody taps your shoulder and hands you a piece of dark cloth. Wrap this over your mouth and nose to keep the smoke out of your lungs, he says. Smells like a Texas barbecue in here. You limp towards your pile of gear and pack as much as you can in your duffel bag and backpack. Woody joins you and picks up as much as he can carry. The two of you take turns bringing supplies slowly in front of your home. My pop made the best barbecue ribs, whether they were pig, cow, deer, or roadkill, Woody says through his bandana. He'd cook anything four-legged, though smaller varmints didn't have a lot of meat on the ribs. He hikes up his own backpack and hauls it just outside the door. With the bags you have, it takes 4 trips back and forth to collect everything. Pop was a purist. None of that ketchup sauce or barbecue sauce, but a dry rub. Not sure what was in it, and Uncle Clem thought Pop sprinkled in gunpowder, but it was never substantiated. As you head back to your inventory pile for the last round of supplies, gray smoke pours from the kitchen and blankets the ceiling. You can't help but cough as the sooty smoke seeps into your lungs. One day these fellers came round asking for my pop's recipes. These good old boys with shotguns and the stink of no good on 'em. Said they wanted that recipe and wouldn't leave without it. You ignore Woody as much as it's possible to do so and load up on the last of your supplies. Arms filled, you turn towards the front door and hear a hiss like a bomb fuse and smell of a strong chemical stench. Run! You yell and start towards the only exit, some 30 feet away. A low rumble builds from the kitchen and you run in what feels like a slow motion. Around the couch and past the coffee table, you maneuver as the air pressure behind you builds. Your leg bumps the table's hard corner, causing you to limp a short distance. You take short gulps of air as the bandana blocks the smoke, but also keeps you from breathing enough to power your fast movement. Just as you reach the front door, you hear an explosion and you dive through the opening to the front porch. Woody makes it out on your heels as a blast of warm black smoke puffs from the front door like a dragon sneeze. Your wounded thigh aches as you stand and catch sight of Madison and Brody rushing over. They help you up and Brody swats your soot ash off of the back of your clothes. You rip off the cloth covering your mouth and nose and suck in a deep breath of fresh air. Are y'all okay? Madison asks and hands you a bottle of water. I'll be fine, you say and take a gulp. The water cools your throat. We'll carry everything to the cars. Just rest. Madison points at your pile of gear and nods to Brody. You move away from your house as more smoke flows out and rises along the outer wall. Gunfire lights up the darkness farther down the road as the rest of your group deals with this advancing horde of infected. Rachel and her 3 companions have abandoned their attempt to stave off the fire and join to shoot at the zombies while the vehicles are packed. Woody lets out a horrendous cough and smooths out his ruffled hair. Where was I? Oh yeah, short ribs. One day these fellers came round asking for my pop's recipes. These good old boys with shotguns and a stink of no good on them said they wanted their recipe and wouldn't leave without it. Let's head back to the others again, you say, and start towards the main road where the sounds of heavy gunfire warn you the infected are near. Woody winds up walking ahead and you lag behind and watch your house as the smoke swells up in a mushroom shape. Well, there goes our house. Damn. Approaching your group, you spot movement from the back of a vintage sedan. A two-tone red and tan classic Chevy with the top down. Ooh, Chevy. In the front seat, an older woman with gray hair sits in the passenger seat, but from the back of the car comes a young man in his late 20s or early 30s. He wears a gray muscle shirt and tight-fitting black jeans with cowboy boots. His hair is swept back like a 50s rocker, and a thin gold chain hangs from his neck. Is that your house over there? The one on fire? Any way I can help? Mind your manners, boy, and introduce us, the woman snaps. The man walks up to you and extends his hand. He has bright green eyes, the color of ivy, and he speaks with a hint of an Irish accent. Name's Riley. That beautiful lady is my ma, Nora. I can't speak in an Irish accent, otherwise I would, to give this character more snap, but I don't want to be racist or anything. I mean, I am Scottish, yet I still can't give out a Scottish accent, so I can't even try at an Irish accent, so I am terribly sorry. We were going by and saw the place on fire, Nora says and raises a metal cane pointing at the house. I used to live around here on Aspen Street. Houses with the willow tree in front. You remember that house? It belonged to an old man named Russell, a rumored criminal. Nora continues. Now I know this ain't none of our business, but we had to stop to see if anyone was inside that needed help. Thankfully no one was. From down the road comes the furious howl of the infected and the clatter of gunfire. Someone shouts for help, and you turn away from the two strangers and hasten back to your group. That was my really bad attempt at an Irish accent, but that was the lady when I was speaking it. I'm terribly sorry if that offended anyone. That was not my intentions. You make it back to the front of your house, and Brody, Madison, and Woody have been joined by Kelly and Parker, who all now pack up multiple vehicles, including a Volkswagen minibus. It has rounded edges and numerous windows all blocked from the inside by thick blankets except for the windshield and two front side windows. Jamie runs down the street and walks up to you. With him is a familiar stranger. He looks better than he did before, and though he still wears the tan and white camouflage of the National Guard, he's alert with a bounce to his step. His skin isn't waxy but shows a healthier hue, and he carries an M4 carabine assault rifle. As he strides closer, you see he's missing his name tag that once read PFC Lopez. How are you doing? He says in a low, gravelly voice. This is a popular spot. Looks like a block party is forming. Jamie glances from the soldier back to you. He said he knows you. He helped take out some of the infected, a lot actually. Look, we got like 5 more minutes before a gazillion infected march around the corner to tear us all to confetti. I'm checking on everyone so we can go. Jamie heads towards the rest of the group. I'd figured you'd be dead, you say. He smirks and raises his eyebrows. My unit had evil intentions for me, but they forgot I'm too stubborn to die. By the way, we never formally met. I'm Christian Lopez. Good to see a bunch of civilians working together. He has brown hair and stands a solid 6 feet tall. My name's Chloe Thompson. Good to meet you, Christian. I prefer being called Lopez. Got used to it, don't mind me saying, but you look young to be surviving this crap alone, he says. About yesterday, I found out my sergeant and the rest of my unit were stealing supplies and preparing to go AWOL. I spoke up, was going to tell her CO, and she had the others attack me. I got away and passed out at your house, by the way. I was kind of awake when you took my gear. Don't worry, I'm not mad. I would have maybe done the same. Anyway, after they got me again, my energy returned, and I dealt with them. Once we're at a safe place, I can tell you the details if you want to hear. So you're going with us? Yeah, Jamie said I can go. Hope that's okay. A large crack resounds through the street and a cloud of dust flies out from your house as the roof collapses. Flames now shoot from the second-floor window. Grit and debris fall to the pavement. He watches the walls turn black and flake off as cinder, and the area of brick darken and meld. You'll never live here again, but safer places exist elsewhere, away from the infected, in places more livable with the resources you'll need to survive. From around the corner of the road comes the first of the infected racing ahead of the pack at the roaring flames. Once they draw close to your home, their attention will turn to the living, you and your companions. You have no choice but to leave, and as you observe the flurry of movement outside your home, you know everyone here shares that same thought. You may come from different walks of life, have competing philosophies, or even be enemies. For now, all of you are in the path of a zombie horde, and will be treated the same. You rush beside your van and take one last look at your burning home. Somehow you knew it would end this way. It's poetic that a place you had as a refuge will be home to no one ever again. The last 2 days have been a final exam and nightfall for the staging ground. It's time to move on and seek a new place to call your own. Several shadows grow by your side and you spot Rachel walking towards you with a group of 3. So you made it home. Glad to see it. I feared something had happened but had faith in your abilities, Rachel says. Let me introduce you to some friends. First up steps an olive-skinned man who shakes your hand eagerly. Hello, I'm Nathan Moobasher. Next in line is a dark-skinned man taller than Nathan with tribal tattoos over his arms that continue up his short sleeves of his shirt. And he has a nasty scar along his left cheek. You are too upbeat for this, Nathan. Neighborhood's on fire, infected rile up, and my man's acting like this is the nightclub. He has a British accent heavier than Rachel's. My friend from Kingston is Benjamin, Nathan says with a laugh. Benjamin frowns and shakes his head. I said I lived in Kingston upon Hull, or just Hull, and I was born in London. I'm as American as you now. The man does a double take and notices your injured leg. Blood is seeped through your pants above it. If you'd like, I can have a look later. Yes, once we find a safe location to stop, definitely have Benjamin examine it, Rachel says. By the way, Chloe, this is Shy Temptress's Bailey. The other woman smiles and waves. Hi there. Why don't you three introduce yourselves to the others while I speak with Chloe? Rachel says, and the three wander over to Kelly, Parker, and the twins. Looks like the neighborhood will be lost soon. We're all moving on. My thought is to follow your group out for mutual protection. Once we find a place to make camp or relocate to, we can discuss whether or not joining our groups is the best option for everyone. How does that sound? Fine. Whatever, let's just go. Wow, okay. Yeah, lovely. We're in great spirits. Gunfire cries out from down the road, and a quick glance finds the herd of infected drawing closer. They push through the wide street, flowing around trees and parked cars. Through low fences and bushes, they move with no resistance, drawn to the fire, destroying all in their path. Kill any head of the pack running at us, Jamie yells to your companions as they rush beside your van. Time to move. We're packed up as best as we can be, and we have a few vehicles going so we can carry everything and have options. Let's stay tight, and we'll stop once we cross out of nightfall and figure out where to go, Jamie says. He looks down the road, and you follow his gaze as a horde of infected drawing nearer, now only a few hundred yards away. The pop of gunfire mixes with the roar of starting motors and growls of the unliving. Jamie extends his hand, and the two of you shake as friends do, and in that moment you sense his fear of the infected, of the safety of your companions, of the unknown. Okay, later, he says, and before you can reply, he strides toward the front of the group. Okay, bye, Jamie. Nice knowing you. Just kidding. You follow the group of vehicles away from the fire and the horde, with only a single quick glance at your house for likely the last time. With a thunderous clap, part of the burning roof collapses and pushes out a section of the front wall, which crashes onto a few infected. Ah, excellent. A plume of smoke hides the undead from sight, and moments later, they step through the gray ash like battlefield wounded, plodding, moaning, and swaying. The road turns ahead, and your caravan extends a single file with no real destination in mind. Nightfall has been lost. The outbreak is over, and in its wake is apocalypse. You have escaped for now, left the life you've led behind, and you can only look forward to finding a new safe haven, a new place to call home. Your exodus from the zombies has begun. And that includes part 1. Oh, I am excited to continue on. This is amazing. Okay, so, yes, we are into part 2 of Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. I was honestly expecting not to get to part 2 for a while, but I guess I'm glad we're there. And now apparently we are building our character again, and I decided to build a full character, so I am going to create our character now, and I will end the video here, and we will carry on the rest of the story next time we pick this up. What race or ethnicity best describes you? Can we just go with whatever? White, Caucasian, Asian, Black, African American, East Indian, Hispanic, Latino, Middle Eastern, Native American, Pacific Islander, White, Caucasian. Okay, you know what? I don't know. I want to be Latino. That's fun. Despite her name, I mean, does it really... I'm so bad. Yeah. Okay, no, you know what? We'll go with Native American. Do you describe yourself as any other race or ethnicity? I'm sorry, what? I do. White, Caucasian? No, I don't. Okay, stop asking me that. What's your hair color? Well, realistically, it's like red. Auburn or red. Yes, totally. Okay, what's your eye color? I don't even know anymore. I guess my eyes are blue? Do you have a distinguishing feature? No, I have no distinguishing features. Please confirm the enhancements to your profile. Race, Native American, white or Caucasian. Hair color, auburn or red. Eye color, blue. Distinguishing features, none. They look perfect. I don't think we need to change them. We still live out in the country. You lived in the wide open country known as Stodgy Farms. Before the outbreak, you lived a full life remembering how things used to be. Oh? Attribute skills became before my profession. My profession tells all. Okay, we've already done all of this. We were a college student. Yeah. Keep this as our profession. Our preferred skill, I forget what we said. Close combat weapons. Electronics. Yes. We had delusions. This is what we had. Our character was delusional. Are you sure you have delusions? Yeah, of course, I guess. Say what now? Do we have other challenges? I kinda do have visual impairment. Yes, I have visual impairment. I don't think we had any other challenges. Yep, that's me. Throughout your life, you've enjoyed many hobbies and pastimes, but two have captured your interest in most. Okay, our hobbies were playing video games and reading books. Our other hobby was reading books. Yep, reading is my hobby. Now what? Okay then. I don't know. What do we have? 19. I guess we're going to use all of them. I'm just going to pick at random, I guess. Close combat. Athletics, I guess. Go with stealth next. Survival. Search. Because, wait, go with electronics first. We're good with electronics, I believe. Uh-oh. Okay. Medicine. If we can, I want to raise scavenging. Hold on a second. Say what now? Considering your personality and moral values, how would you characterize yourself? Chivalrous savior, good-natured cutthroat, idealist, manipulative puppet master, practical survivalist, psychopathic bandit, merciful raider. Good-natured cutthroat. Haha. No. Chivalrous savior? I'm gonna go with that. Ah. Nice. Okay, that's good. Does this capture your personality and morality traits? Idealistic, 70%. Cynical, 30%. Honorable, straightforward, or more calculated, impulsive. Humanity, 80%. Morality, 80%. And that's pretty good. I'm gonna go with yes. In college, you majored in... well, computer science. You trained in using close combat weapons, particularly... We have a machete. We were using a machete, right? Yeah. You've always had an odd attraction to edged weapons, and over the past few years, you took up knife fighting as a form of self-defense. At a weapons show last spring, you picked up an authentic machete used by a soldier in the Vietnam War. Ooh. Ever since you've practiced with the machete, you know it provides much of the versatility needed for a close combat weapon. Yes, we have a machete. Remember buying a few supplies for a camping trip you were hoping to take. Compound bow. Crap. Okay. Compound bow. Okay. Foldable fishing pole. Excellent. Yes, we have a fishing pole. Canteen, water purifying tablets. Yes. Okay, that's excellent. Before we leave, we changed into our street clothes. Yes, we get a machete. Backup weapon is a machete. We drove a vehicle. We drove a 4-door sedan. Did we? Wait, no, hang on. Pickup truck. That's what we chose, right? Yes, we chose the pickup truck. Which of the survivors joined your group at the end of part 1? What? All survivors. That's all who joined. Okay, that makes sense. Are you forming a relationship with any survivor? I don't believe so. How is your relationship with your fellow survivors? We're not too friendly. We're strangers, nothing more. We are friendly, I guess. We'll just say we're friendly. Alright. We are on chapter 5, but for now, I will end the video here. So thank you so much for watching. And like always, I will catch you all in the next video. Stay awesome. Bye.